Most of us put in all types of work when it comes to our cell phones. We spend so many hours dissecting information, entertainment, gossip, that it stands in the way of our development. Our lives have become connected with these devices that never leave our side. They may as well glue them to our forearms or something like, hey, yeah, I ain't even know. Or just glasses where we virtual reality, but it's regular eyewear like in Iron Man films or Avengers, where you can see everything that's going on and just operate your like website computer from in the air, through your eyes. I know those who know. I'm a big sci-fi movie person. Well, I hear so many people talk about how we need to get on our cell phones. We need to eat at the dinner table again. All these things I agree with, except we need to leave our cell phones be. And I look to tell you why on this edition of Foundation for Elevation Station. My name is Leon Meredith, and it's one thing that gets under my skin is status quo. When we continuously throw around the same rhetoric because we have been practicing it for years, reading it for years, hearing people talk about it in their speech for years, and continuously regurgitate it. Yesterday I heard a minister, he spoke about how we need to leave our cell phones down, which in and of itself is fantastic. We need to eat at the dinner table again. I wholeheartedly agree. But I believe that us putting our cell phone down is not the largest part of what we're doing wrong with our cell phone. You may view it like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is that the informational portion of cell phones is not being utilized to the peak capabilities that it can deliver. These are resource tools. We have access to so many levels of knowledge. It's ridiculous. We could study so much about our existence straight from our cell phone. And this is the reason that, hits me in a snafu sometimes. Well, probably more than sometimes. 25% of the time that I could be studying something and it's in-depth knowledge about another aspect. And I may dive in 30 minutes, an hour, 15 minutes, and really digest enough information on the subject to give me greater than average knowledge of it. For someone that may have went 4 years of college studying a certain degree, I can look at certain things or case studies that have come together with other professionals to give a certain understanding, and I can research it for 2 hours and then over the course of 2 weeks look into certain things a little bit and have a greater functional knowledge that can be applied on a higher level than someone that did 4 years of study. I mean, I guess it all depends on the person, which is the person is me that's in question. But I would think even a person with lesser capabilities could get a clear understanding just from studying from some odd points, and not to mention our youth. I think that as a parent, as a guardian, as a leader in my community, it is time for us to begin to direct what our children digest in our cell phones. We cannot allow our children to run astray and live life however it comes to them. And the only thing we do is, you can't wear that. We just holler at them and reprimand them whenever we're around them. And it's just like irritating, like directions when it comes from the parent to the children or a leader of the community. We have to spend more time with the youth. Not isolated events, not giving them ice cream and cookies whenever they want to meet up. It's time for us to spend the time. And I know a lot of people have a heart for it. But what are we teaching? How are we guiding the youth? We may believe that the knowledge we had 20 years ago, it still stands true. But when you talk to other leaders of the community, does it stand up? We as leaders of the community have to hold other leaders accountable for outdated methods. Why should we keep propagating just a fun time with our children in these events, in these programs, when we are creating an addiction to just enjoying life, and our youth are not able to learn the rest of their lives? Our children, especially in Ohio, I haven't studied the whole nation, are reading below their grade point level. Their comprehension skills are below their grade point level. Look it up. Our high schoolers, and it's probably all of them, are writing below their grade point level. Their writing, whether it's print or cursive, is barely legible. And I mean this about the majority. Why is this not an issue? Why are we not assisting our youth in developing themselves? Why? They did when I was coming up. We have to upgrade our methods in which we teach our children. I'll leave this one right here because I have something to shoot and do. Maybe I'll combine it with another portion and make another one. I want to say that our youth is not the only concern here. Our leaders must be retrained. We cannot continuously just pass along how to fit into a program to our youth. We cannot build an addiction for having fun and eating good stuff. What are we doing? Working for the enemy? We are working for the enemy, whether you believe it or not. If you practice making events and doing these types of things for the children, we having events on how to fit into a program. We always talk about how schooling, even in college, we program most of them to fit into the matrix and get into the workforce and just be a worker. We embraced to our children to have a good time, enjoy yourself, and it all feels good. We see the children happy, but is this real benefit? You can eat a Little Debbie and be happy. You can look at a song and be happy. How is just being happy moving them forward in advancement? We have to recognize this and where we're guiding people, and we do it unconsciously. Especially so many different groups that's doing it, and you don't recognize where we're leading the people. You don't recognize the next stage of bondage. But God is good. God is real good. God is always good. Demi.